Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 200 of Wool is the Answer. Yay, yay, yay. I'm Marie.
I'm Dominique. It's Friday, 26th of April.
Oh, can you believe it? Right, let's just make sure that, yes, we're on. I can see it's all working.
Can you see? Right, okay.
We're on. Hello, Victoria. First person on. Hello.
Quick, turn it off.
Quick, turn it off. Hi, Sue. I do look like I'm sat in the dark here. Let me go and put big light on.
Put big light on. Let me get my book ready. 24.
While I'm stood up, I'll show you a quick flash. While I'm stood up of my Jethro, so you can see the length. So while I'm stood up,
nice.
That's my new Jethro. I'll talk about it in a minute, but it's saved me getting back up again.
But you are going to have to get back up again because people are just joining us. So,
but they can rewind it.
You can't rewind live telly.
Oh, I don't think it's made any difference. I still think I'm sat in the dark. Anyway.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Welcome. Excuse me while I blow my nose out of shot. Do you know, it's freezing again. Absolutely freezing. Hello, everybody.
Right, can
you believe? Episode 200. I mean, it's good because when I'm looking at the screen, it shows it back to front, but I do know from experience of 200 episodes that what you see on the screen is the right way around.
Well, it's the right way around to me. It's the right way around to me, and it's the right way around on my laptop.
Exactly, I can just see it now. So
yeah,
yes,
it is the right way around.
We've got all sorts to do today, haven't we, Dominique?
Haven't we just? I'm just going to.
You see, you look like you're in loads of daylight. Now I look like I'm in the shadows. But anyway,
it's because I'm sat in front of the window.
Well, I am, but I don't think there's much light coming in from it. But I mean, you wouldn't join us after 200 episodes and not expect some sort of malfunction of some description, would you?
Exactly.
Thank you, everybody.
I did go back just a minute ago. I thought, well, I'm just going to go back and just look at the first episode. It was 15 minutes long. And it was on the 24th of May 2019, so nearly 5 years ago.
Oh my Lord. But it's funny because I was doing exactly the same, and I think I looked at when the 100th episode was, and it was 2 years ago. It says, it comes up as roughly like 2 years ago. I didn't go into the details. So we've done 200 episodes in 100 episodes in 2 years.
Yeah, well, we should do, shouldn't we? Because we do roughly 50 a year. Yeah, I looked and I thought, because what I thought was, I'll go and find something that we showed on the first episode. Not a chance. We've not got them still. So, well, I'm assuming you were knitting a jumper, but I don't think you've still got it because I've not seen you. It was in Donegal, and I just thought, let's just look back. But yeah, 15 minutes and 2 seconds, but it's had over 1,000 views.
My Lord.
It's just bonkers.
I did the same thing. I thought, I'm just going to, earlier, I was sat and I put it on the telly, and I rarely put it on the telly, but I went through because I wanted to see the photos, you know, the thumbnail that comes up. Well, I could not stop laughing. Number one, my different hairstyles and hair colours, I was killing myself laughing at and thinking, I mean, I'll probably look at this one in a few years' time and go, what were you thinking? Yeah. I was looking at it and thinking, oh my life, it's been some strange colours. And then I was laughing at the thumbnails, and like a lot of them, we are just laughing or pulling. Like some of the faces that we pull to each other are hilarious, and especially the ones where we were together, you know. Someone was like looking at each other and so to say, what the hell is going on?
You've really only got yourself to blame because you're the one that picks all the thumbnails. I mean, I just don't look. I just don't. I mean, I went back, but I had it on mute and I was just like flicking through to see because the notes at the bottom, I've not even put what things. I mean, it was the very first one, but
yeah, we've progressed though. Now we get notes at the bottom. We have proper little thumbnails. At least we don't have the twinkly twinkly music on anymore.
No.
I mean that was funny, but yeah, I honestly, literally. So if you go on, you can see all the thumbnails, and I just was killing myself laughing, looking. What colour was my hair? What on earth? And then yeah. So it was very, very funny. And I literally was giggling my head off just looking at the photos, never mind anything else. So if you want to giggle and you can't be bothered to read or watch all the rest if you haven't seen them, just go and look at the thumbnails. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
It just, we obviously both did the similar thing, but yeah, I thought I'm just going to go back. Oh no, not a chance. I'm not going to do it. It would be interesting to know how far back you have to go for things that we've knit, crocheted, shown, and we've still got. But
who knows?
Good afternoon, everybody. Even you two sneakily listening at work.
Yes, exactly. Right, shall we get this show on the road?
Yes, let's.
Right, so I've finished. It's finished. I'm going to stand up again because before most of you came, I'll stand up so you can see it. So this is the Jethro cardigan by Tanis Fibre Arts. I'm going to stand here. Can you see me? There you go.
Yes, yeah.
I love it. I mean, you can see it's not too long, and it is supposed to be just like a short, well, not a short cardigan, but like a boxy shaped cardigan.
And is that to the pattern? You didn't add more squares like you said you might
add more squares.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got all my statistics ready because I thought I'd better look a bit more professional than Ha, ha, ha. So,
Lisa's not watching live because they're on the way to Wonderwall. Lisa sent me her stats for the Blanket Club last night. She got a gold star for that. So I've got my pen at the ready.
So I am so happy with it. So in total, it weighs just under 600 grams. So we're going 600 grams.
Okay.
I have used about 60 grams each of the pale scarlet, emerald, and the denim. So roughly 420 of the undyed. So I did, because I was using up bits and pieces of the yarn, I wasn't quite sure, but I knew I'd used at least 300 grams, and then I'd used up bits and pieces. So about 420 grams of the undyed. So 600 grams in total. So it is quite yarn heavy.
Yes.
It doesn't feel too heavy though. It feels really nice on. I did size 3, and I am a tight knitter. So my sleeves, probably are, you might need a bit more wool. So I would say as long as you had 500 grams, and I would go for 100 grams because I used quite a lot of the cream in my squares.
Or you could add another colour.
Yes, and use less of the cream.
And use less if you were going in your stash.
Yeah, because it's 5 rows, and then the final row is the same colour that you join in your, you know what I mean? That's like your base colour. So I used the cream to give it like a double effect. So I didn't have to add in another colour. But that's the stats for it.
Very good. And double knit. It's double knit.
Double knit. That's exactly what it is right there. That's better. I can see a bit more. I might have to change my glasses. They've now changed colour. Let me change my glasses. I can't put them well see. So that's by Tanis Fibre Arts, the Jethro.
And have you got the pattern in front of you? What does it say you should? Have you used what it said you should use in the pattern? If that makes sense.
No, because of course it says use 5 different colours.
Does it give you like a total?
Well, I mean, it might do, but I haven't got that.
Right. No, don't worry, don't. Because some patterns, when you're using multiple colours, they count them as like 100 grams, don't they? So they would say you would need 800 grams because they're telling you need 100 of each colour rather than.
And And I think, let me just change my glasses so I can see in daylight now.
I think it's just handy to know.
I think in the
you look at
pattern,
patterns and think, oh, that's a lot, but actually you don't need all of it.
I think in the pattern it said you'll need 100 grams for your colours. You know, your squares, your colours for your square. And then I can't remember how many it said for. I think it might have said something like so. Check the pattern rather than me making it up. But I followed the pattern. I did the same. I didn't change anything. I just, oh, did I go up? No, I did. I went up. I think it should, the crochet should have been 3-5, and I did a 3-7-5 crochet. Okay, I'm sure I did. Anyway,
I'm just
looking.
Got
gauge. I actually got gauge on the crochet squares because it tells you to measure them so you know how much they should be. So I did get the actual measurement, so that measurement was right. So just go by the
it's saying for size 3 you need 896 meters.
896 meters.
Yeah, meters. That's only 4 balls.
Yeah, and I've used nearly 6.
Oh.
Who knows?
Forget that.
Forget that. Stato's got it wrong. Forget that. What's it say?
It's because it says you need 980 yards for the granny squares. I've just worked that out. If I'd read the next line, it says plus 360 yards for your main colour for the sleeves. So that is about right then.
Yes. Yeah. I'm about right. I'm about there.
Yeah. Yeah. It just puts you off sometimes, doesn't it? When you've got patterns with multiple colours, you've used 60 grams of each, and I know they not always say it, but they might say you need 100 grams of each, and that should have been 4 colours, plus whatever. So, I
do think the idea of it though is to use up a bit of your stash. Do you know what I mean? Because the pattern you can use it up various different. I wanted to keep mine fairly simple and plain colours. So
you could do You could do each square a different colour, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Scraps from stash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So yes, the knitted sleeves are really nice, and they're quite fitted as well, rather than being too big. I think she said on the pattern that's what she wanted, a sleeker on the sleeves shape. Yes. But yeah, nice.
How easy was it picking up your sleeves to knit from your crochet?
Easy. I mean, can you see? Really, really easy. But if you weren't sure how to do it, she's very detailed on her videos. On the pattern, it gives you video links.
Right.
That she's done a separate YouTube channel. Some of them are on her YouTube channel normal, but I think the other one was like linked to the pattern. Do you know what I mean? That was hidden.
Yes.
So you could only get access to it. But it was easy, and she also shows you links on how to do the crochet as you go. So you make your squares, but then when you join them, you're joining them all in one go.
Yes.
So it was a really good pattern for that. It gave you lots of guidance if you've not done anything before.
Because very rarely do you ever pick up to knit from a crochet or the other way around, do you?
Yeah. But it was really straightforward, really, really simple. And when you were doing it, it was easier picking up from the crochet than it is picking up stitches normally.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think you've got you can see the definite holes where you need to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With crochet. So it was actually a really clever idea.
Good.
Yeah.
Sally's saying she used 600 grams too. So
you finished, Sally. Go. Perfect. We'll have to see photos.
If you want to do a size 3, you need about 600 grams. Go looking in your
600
stash.
grams.
Yeah.
Exactly. Go looking. So that is one of my finished objects.
Very nice.
I don't know why I'm saying one of my finished objects. That is my only finished object.
That was my question. You say one, what more have you got? You haven't.
I haven't got any more finished objects, but I have got other objects. But let's see what you've got. Well,
I've not got that much. Where have I put it now? I mean, we had our monthly blanket Zoom last night, and it was really nice to see a couple of different variations. Some of you have got your wool, some of them it's coming. So I've finished my third colour in the blanket, which I've not
Lovely.
finished. I finished the 4 undyed stripes last night on the Zoom, and I've picked it up to bring it to showers, and the first of them 4 rows I did wrong, so I need to take them all out again. But you know, I will be nearly ready to take the next colour. So that is your month 3. I know we'd shown you nearly up to date, but that is it, ready for your month 4 to go in. So
good stuff. I can't show you mine because I have started the new colour.
Right.
So I'm not going to show you mine. But
I need to take
the month, what are we on now? You've just received month 4.
Yes.
So month 5 will be going on the website this weekend. I'll be putting it on. It'll be ready to go for your next pre-order. I can't believe that we're on to, you know, getting. Well, we're on the one
everyone's just receiving now. You're halfway. We're halfway through.
Yeah, unbelievable. So
It's
we were just saying last night, I can't believe how quick it's gone and how quick this year's going, to be quite honest. It just seems to be flying by. So
just while Marie's saying about Blanket Club going live over the weekend, it's your last chance for month 2 of the Grow Your Christmas Veg box. That's going to come off the website this weekend because it needs to be dyed and we need to get the right amount of seeds ordered and whatnot. So if you've not ordered it, you've got about 24 hours, I would think, before we take it off the website.
Right, good stuff.
At some point over the weekend. What else have you got then?
What else have I got? Well, I've been doing a little bit more on my Shaking the Tree cowl.
Oh, yes.
So I am on the final hurdle. I'm on the lace. So I've got two more of these. I've just finished the first lace panel, so I've got 3 more to equal it up as the bottom.
Yes.
And that is using green Lambkin's yarn, and it's a Christmas one.
Calm.
All is calm. It's in my bag. I would have found it. But it's gold stellina, which you can't really pick. You can't pick it up at all there, can you?
No.
You can't even. Oh, there's a little. I think you see
one
little
bit. Oh, there is a
bit.
tiny bit, yeah.
But there is a lot in it. But I'm really pleased with it. I think it's going to look lovely when it's finished. So that was courtesy of Victoria.
That was really nice last night because on the blanket Zoom, it was Liz that said, wasn't it? She said, "Oh, Marie, I need to thank you for the Shaking the Tree." And Marie was like, "Well, no, it was kind of like pass it along. Who's inspired who to do something?" So it was really nice to see that little chain.
But that's what's good about it, isn't it? Because we all see, you know, the knit and natters are hilarious sometimes, aren't they? Where somebody will go, "Oh, I'm doing this," and you're all sat there on your phone looking at everything. Next minute, "Oh, have you seen this? They've got this as well. Oh, I've not seen that." So you end up down a rabbit hole trying to find different stuff, and it just moves on, doesn't it? So it's nice when you see somebody else's knit something, you think, "Oh, I'll make that. I'll have a go at that." So it's really, really good. That's one good thing that comes out of this and the knit and natters, that we all enable each other.
Someone else, is Caroline doing it as well? Someone else.
Caroline's doing it. Yes, Caroline's doing it as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's a nice knit. It's a really nice knit, and it's clever because
it's a one skeiner, isn't it?
It's a one skeiner, and because of the way you wear it, you don't have to waste doing all that lace panel, because when you wear it, you don't see it. Clever.
And I take it you've still got plenty left, because stellina's always short of meterage, so you can still do it in a sparkle.
I have got loads left, and I think I'm going to have quite a lot left anyway.
Oh yeah,
I've got a lot left.
Yes. Because some one skeiners are.
You can see the gold.
Oh, you can a little bit. You can. They try and, which you want, try and use as much as you can. But when you're doing lace, something like that, you can't run out, can you? You need to be.
No, you need to make sure you've got enough.
Yes, absolutely. Just speaking about chain reactions and going on from one thing to another, in the one of the knit and natters this week or last week, Caroline has already knit both colours in her month one veg box, and she's doing a blanket, and everyone was admiring it. It was lovely. And she'd been, when she was looking for blanket patterns, she'd found a book that she bought. So I didn't go and buy it yet, but I did order it from the library, and it's come today, so I've been and picked it up. And it's the Art of Landscaped Knitting. But
it's beautiful.
I mean, I won't, but it's just got lots of patterns and charts to knit. I won't say modular, but I don't think that's the word. But do you know what I mean? You can do each stripe in a different colour.
Yeah.
Just really, really good. There's a how to use the book about following the charts, how to put the blankets together. There's just some fab.
Really nice.
Really, really nice. Knit beautiful blankets that reflect the natural world. So you've got mountains and clouds and waves and trees, bark, you know, all sorts. So I've only had a chance to pick it up this afternoon, and I've not really had a chance to look at it. But that came from Caroline, knitting the veg box, and you think it's really nice. But yeah, so if anybody was looking for, wants to do a blanket that's maybe a little bit different than just the same blanket all the way through, Caroline can recommend it, and there's from what I've seen so far, I would definitely recommend it as well. So
it'll be interesting if that author's done any others. Do you know what I mean? If they've done any different patterns, because it is a beautiful book.
It is. I mean, on the back it says more books you'll love, but I don't think it's necessarily by the same author.
Oh, right. So it could be just the same publisher.
It could just be the same publisher. It's difficult to see because it's tiny. It's
right.
Knit Like a Latvian, accessories and mosaic knitting workshop. Now it might be the same author, but it might just be the same publisher. So
that's good. You got it from the library, though.
Yeah. Well, I think Caroline only showed it on Monday.
Yeah, that's quick. So I ordered library.
Ordered it on. I picked this up, and I picked the Queen of Poisons, the next Robert Thorogood book, which I've been waiting for ages. So, depending on how popular things are, I could see this was in Horncastle, so I knew it was in a library. It's not taken too long, but yes, very, very nice. So,
just while we're talking about books, what's your verdict on the actors who've been chosen for the Thursday Murder Club? I can see her. I can see Helen Mirren. I get that. I can see that. I can see Helen Mirren because she's done quite a lot where she's done some movies. Was it called Red something? I can't remember.
She did. She was prime suspect. She was Jane Tennyson for years, wasn't she?
Since then she's done a lot. She was a spy in one movie. I can't remember. Pierce Brosnan as Ron. No.
Well, it's really interesting because one of the podcasts I watch and listen to is hosted by Richard Osborne, and he's been speaking about. Been speaking about them, yeah. But he was saying about Ben Kingsley how good he thinks he's going to be for. Yeah, I
can see him. I can see that.
I think he was basically saying. I can understand why people think he's a curveball, but wait and see kind of thing. And then he just keeps saying, Joyce. He said, we're still in negotiations, but he said, the name everyone keeps shouting at me, that's who it is. So I've no idea who people are speculating, but he said, we're hoping Joyce is going to be who you all think Joyce is going to be. So
it's weird because I was racking my brains the other day. I saw Pierce Brosnan in something, and I can't remember what it was, and he played somebody, and I'm sure it was with like a southern accent, and it just was weird. It was just strange. Do you know what I mean? But he's an actor. Let's see if he pulls it out the bag.
And he has done rough and ready, but only for small bits. So I don't know. I really don't know.
Who'd have thought in Mamma Mia? Do you know what I mean?
I see
Angela's
saying, Angela's agreeing with you, perfect choice for Elizabeth and April. I don't know. I can see Jane Tennyson becoming Elizabeth, but Helen Mirren doesn't look like Jane Tennyson anymore. She's too, I don't know. In my head, I can't see it. So let's see. But they start filming in May. It's all being filmed in England.
Perfect. It'll be interesting to see. In some ways, I think those actors they've chosen probably better than the ones for the book we just read, the Thursday, the Harlow ones. Because I just still can't any of them. I just don't see any of them as they were in my mind as the characters. Just not at all.
I mean, Angela's saying Penelope Wilton. Oh, for the lead part for you, as in Elizabeth. Because I could see Penelope Wilton as Joyce.
No, I think Joyce. I think that's what she means as Joyce. Because it's like narrated by Joyce, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yes, I could see Penelope Wilton. Yes.
Now I could see Thelma Barlow as Joyce, but Thelma Barlow from 10 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think Thelma Barlow's got enough oomph as Joyce. Anyway, you know, it's already sorted, isn't it, really?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
It's weird, though, how you paint a picture in your head of who you think or the type of person that, you know, and, yeah.
And it's never the same, is it? But
no, of course it isn't. That's the joy of books, though, isn't it? Because you can put your own person into it. You can, in your own mind's eye, you can think.
The authors describe them, and they're still cast differently, aren't they? So, watch this space. But yes, it was really interesting listening to Richard Osman speak about it. And
it must work for him because he's got it in his own mind, hasn't he? He's created these characters, so he obviously must think that they do represent.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how much say he has.
I think he's had some say in it, hasn't he?
Yeah, but anyway, it was interesting listening to him. So,
do you want to talk about what we're doing on the celebration of our 200th episode? Because we're about halfway through.
Tom Hardy is bogged, and I keep getting.
Oh, now, yes, I could see that, yes.
I'm not really sure. I don't think I know who Tom Hardy is properly.
Oh, you see, you watched him in half the things he's been in. He was in Peaky Blinders recently.
No.
He was Venom. He was hilarious in Venom. He was really good in Venom. Yeah. I love him in Venom. It's so funny. He's been in lots of things, Dominique.
I know the name, but
oh, Angela, yes, I can definitely see Tom Hardy as Bogdan.
Well, watch this space. Right, yes, go on.
Go on. You tell us what we do. What we're doing to celebrate our 200th episode, Dominique.
I keep getting distracted because I'm being too far behind on the comments. Well, I've just seen it's about to disappear. Marion, happy 200th podcast from Kath and Marion. Hello. Are you there? Are you set up? Because they're at
Are you set up?
Wonderwool, Wales. So
yes, of course, that's this weekend, isn't it?
It's set up day today, yes. Have you got down there all right? What are we doing to celebrate 200 episodes? We're going to do a ginormous, it's not the right word.
I was going to say mammoth.
Extravaganza of a giveaway.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I seriously don't know who Tom Hardy is. But
you don't play football?
No. Do you know who Stephen Maguire is? So
No,
there you go.
No.
We are going to do.
Is he Tobey Maguire's brother?
No. Not unless Tobey Maguire's Scottish.
No.
Um,
Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
we're going to do a giveaway, but we're going to do a big giveaway. So we have got, well, I've lost count of how many prizes we've got. Let's just show you the prizes, then we'll tell you what you've got to do, and then we're going to draw them next week.
Well, do you want to tell us what the big prize is to start off with? So the big prize.
The big prize
is Tom Hardy. No, it isn't.
No, it's not. It's going to be the first drawn. So we've got a new colourway to launch at Buxton in 3 weeks. So you're going to get a sneak peek of that, and you're going to win that. So first of all, oh, that's not good. I mean, this is
not a good. That's not a good. That's not a good representation of it.
It's not. It's because the light's good for me, but not for showing things.
A little bit better. Oh yeah, that's a bit better. Yes. So tell us what colours are in it. That might be easier.
And it's blues and greens and it's orange, blue, and green. Orange, blue, green speckles. We've not got a name for it yet. So first of all, we need a name for it.
And we want it now while we're on air.
Yes.
We want
so you're going to get 100 grams of this, and you're going to get an afternoon tea at Hemswell Court. Now, before you start shouting, I don't live local, I can't get. If you don't live local, or you happen to be in a different country and your name is drawn, you'll get a voucher for wool for the same price as an afternoon tea.
Yes.
So it's an afternoon tea if you're local and you can come, but if not, it will be a voucher for the same amount of money. So don't panic. So that is, what we're going to call that?
We want names, please. Give us names.
I think it should be something commemorative of a 200th episode, potentially. But it could be anything.
Could be anything.
So that is your star prize.
That's the star prize. There's also something else included in that star prize, isn't there?
Well, I've got that in my hand. Is that it?
No, that's not it. Joe Piccalilli.
Oh, yes. I've not written it down. I mean, for goodness sake. Joe Piccalilli, she won't be on because she's also on her way down to Wonderwool. After last week's episode, she'd launched her yarn tubs in the vegetable fabrics to go with our veg boxes.
They're on her website now, because I think she said they were going to be on this week.
Did she?
You keep talking.
Joe's been in touch, and Joe said she would really like to donate one of them for the giveaway. Excuse me. So show again. I will show it again. So you're right. It's because we've not got it here. So you'll also have a yarn tub from Joe Piccalilli, and it will be one of the 3 that she's put on her Instagram, the vegetable ones.
Yes.
That's better.
That's a better colour. Move it back a little smidge because it's blurring. Yeah, it keeps blowing it out a bit, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, you can put your answers for this in the live chat.
Yes, because we want to try and name it now. Before we go off, we want to try and get a name for it now. It is coastal looking. Yes, yeah. It
is quite coastal looking. I like WITA Wonderwool 200. It's too long, Anita.
Yes. And Wonderwool implies that it's Wales.
Yes. Yes, because it is going to be launched for Buxton. I mean,
Buxton Delights. I mean, I read it. There's a heart in between over there. I thought it said Buxton Delights, Marion, because all I could see was the BUX. Walk on the beach.
Keep them coming. We'll keep looking.
Footprints in the sand.
That's too long though, isn't it?
I know, but I have to write it.
That's what I'm saying. You normally veto anything that's more than 2 words.
I do. I mean, Truly Scrumptious gets a little bit like that when I'm writing it. I came up with Bluebell Woods, but I'd rather somebody else came up with it.
It's not very Bluebell Woody.
It's not Bluebelly. Try again.
No.
Celebration. I mean, we've got a shawl called Celebration, but Celebration's an option.
It is.
Seaside Bunting. Ice Springs. I'm liking all these. Speckled Egg. Sunset Speckle. Sunrise. I'm liking these. Anyway, have you explained what you have to do to be entered into this draw? No, not yet.
We're going to show all the prizes first. Let's show all the prizes.
So another prize.
Keep them coming.
So are we going for prize number 2?
Yes.
Prize number 2, I mean, Dominique doesn't know which one I'm going to go for. It's going to be Wendy of Wendy's Crochet Creations has created a new shawl for us.
Oh, sorry, before you go on, can I just say, because Wendy's on as well, we need to shout to say, I know some of you have seen it, Wendy has just released her very first independent solo crochet pattern.
Yeah.
It's free on Ravelry. We've shared it, but I'm going to share it again, but we just wanted to shout out. So Wendy, who designs all of our crochet patterns, this is the first one she's done for herself, and it's called the Affinity Cowl.
And I'm liking Wendy's suggestion, beach days, like that, short words. I'm liking that one. Anyway, This is Wendy's new shawl pattern that we will be bringing.
For us, not the one she's just released.
No,
this is
for us. She's designed this for us. And it will be released at Buxton.
Yes.
And we have named it Carousel. I mean, look at this. Look. I mean, I know Dominique hates dyeing it, but oh my Lord, look at the winter rainbow. Oh,
I have never seen winter rainbow look like that. It feels like I've designed the shawl has been designed for the wool or the other way around.
It's I am in love with. I mean, look how it's pooled. I mean, it's beautiful. So we've named it Carousel. I mean, poor Wendy does no idea what the heck we're going to call these things.
No.
So this is beautiful. So what you will win is the pattern before anybody else has got it.
Yes.
And the yarn to make it with. Now, you can choose any 2 balls if this one doesn't float your boat. You can have any 2 balls.
It's just a 100 gram 4-ply.
Oh, salty kisses like that.
I like salty
Wendy,
kisses.
it is stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous, this. So that is second draw now. You win the pattern, the crochet pattern, and you win
200 grams of
200 grams of wool. Right. The next prize is,
and I mean, you might see a thing, but you might not. What we're trying to do with all the prizes is to celebrate people that have supported us, or basically people we buy from all the time, that we share with you all the time. So
yes. Have you seen Stuart's comment? I never knew that, Stuart, and I'm like me angels. 200 is known as angel number. I mean, it could be something like angel wings.
Or just angels.
Or angels. I'm liking that, the connotation of the 200. I did type in 200 meanings and like different, and it just came up with loads of gobbledygook. I like that.
Right.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. On many levels, Stuart, I like that one. I like that one. Right. So the next item I'm going to show you is a sock set. So you will win this sock set, which is lightning on sparkle with a mustard sparkle and some fabulous soap that we get from Wensleydale Longwool Sheep Shop.
Yes.
I love this soap. I use lots of this soap. It's lovely in the shower, I've got to say, Kath. It is so nice. I have sensitive skin and it is so yummy. I mean, I'm just sat here sniffing it now. So that is the third prize. And do you like what we've done? Look.
I mean, we have thought about this.
We've actually thought about this, Dominique, haven't we?
We have.
So that is prize number
I've just realised I'm writing it down because we're saying these are these prizes, so we need to make sure that
Exactly.
we remember that next week. So I'm writing it down.
Number 3 is the colour coordinated soap and yarn. Number 4 is, oh, I'm losing my phone. Happy days. A mini set.
Yes.
And an Emma Ball tin. Can you see what we've done there with the colours? I mean, so that is number 4. So that's prize giveaway number 4.
Yes.
Are we nearly there yet? Let me just turn this around so I can still see what's going. And this is the last one, isn't it? You haven't got any more there.
I've got one.
Left?
So you go with yours and then I've got one.
So the next one is a beautiful tape measure from our favourites, the Knitting Gift Shop.
Yes.
And look, as if by magic. You've got 4 minis there and a tape measure. So that is number 4. Giveaway number 4. What else have we got there, Dominique? Oh yes, I've remembered what it is.
And finally, we've got prize number 6, which is you've just not got a mini. It will be a 50-gram sock set, but I've not got the mini to go with it just at the minute. So it's cha-cha-cha, and to go with cha-cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha. Quite
a long time ago, we were sent these to give as a giveaway, and we've just not done it. But cha-cha-cha was dyed for the Strictly Stock Along, which is run by Ali of Little Drops of Wonderful, and you got you are a
go
little
out a bit, go out a bit,
badge.
Go out a bit. It's just a big blurry blob.
Well, you've got one of Ali's badges and
that's it.
Ali's cards.
So 6 different giveaways.
Yes, a strictly theme as well.
Yeah. So what do we have to do to win these things, Dominique?
I keep getting sidetracked. There's some brilliant.
There are some really good names. We're going to have to think of something.
Yeah. We might have to just get this down to 3, and then we might just have to have a vote.
Yeah.
So to enter, and this is where we're going to ask you not to comment in the chat now, but to do it once it's published, because for 2 reasons. 1, it just makes it so much easier for searching, but 2, it does let YouTube know that people like the video and are commenting, and it gets shared a bit more. So we want to know, well, we'd come up with something, but I'm adding something. What has been your funniest moment of the 200 episodes? But I do think we've had similar around that. So if you can't think of, if you've not got a funny one that sticks out, what of our makes have inspired you to make the same thing? Like we were saying about the shake in the tree.
Yes. So we've got 2. You can answer to either question.
We just answer the question. We just want you to get involved and to show us that you've really been watching. You don't have to have watched all 200, but you have been watching over the last 5 years. That's what we want to hear from you. And on the one that is published that you can make the comments on, not on this live one. That's where we want to see you. Yes, absolutely. It is funny because when I was scanning through, looking at the hilarious thumbnails and my hilarious hairstyles over the years, I was giggling because when I think back, I think my fondest memories of some of the things is when you try and stand on that round chair. There's so many where you've tried to, well, you always succeed, but how you've never fallen off them, I do not know. Because you've been stood on stools and all sorts and like perched on things, like trying to show us. And that's why, because I think we've asked before what's been your favourite, and some of that has been like when the tripod's fallen over. So I kind of thought some of people's favourites were funny as well, which is why I thought let's just tell us they're normally the things that do make me laugh. Yes, when you drop your equipment and we just see the ceiling and wonder if you're all right. But so that because it was funny because on this,
I didn't realise how many there were, Dominique, because when you do go back and you look at the thumbnails, there's quite a lot of you perched on something in the pictures. So it is
It's
very
because
funny.
I can't go back far enough to show you, so I just have to.
Apart from one where you did go back very far when you were with your desk and you looked as though you were like 10 miles away. You're only this
Well, I
big.
can't be in that room at the minute because it's got the jigsaw set up on it. So,
Oh dear.
Right. I'm just trying to pick some of the. I mean, these are brilliant.
Which are your favourites so far?
Well, that's what I was just writing down because I thought, well, if we pick out our favourites and we'll get a shortlist, then we'll get everyone to vote because I think there's loads. Oh, my favourites are Seaside Bunting, Salty Kisses, and Coastal Walk because they speak to me.
Yes, I like Coastal Walk.
Yes.
I quite like Angel something. I quite like that.
Yes.
They're my two favourites, I think. Yes, they're my two favourites.
Right. Well, in that case, what would you give us your vote? Angel something, not Angel something. It will be something to do with angels.
Yeah, angel feathers or something. Yes, angel wings. No, just angels. Just angels. Coastal walks.
Angel or coastal walks. Let's not.
Yeah. Which would you prefer?
Yes. There are so many. There's some brilliant ones there, but yeah, we're going to have to narrow it down. So let's go for them two, and we'll see which one wins by the end of the episode.
Right. So they are your giveaways, and you can only enter, as we've said, by commenting on the published one on YouTube.
Yes.
And Dominique will draw them next week. So you will all find out next week.
Yeah.
So
we're only doing it on YouTube. We're not doing it anywhere else because we're celebrating 200 episodes on YouTube. So
yes.
Those of you that have been with us, not necessarily from the beginning, but been with us along this journey, you're the people we want to enter.
Exactly.
Have the chance to win. So
exactly. So have you got anything else to show us, or do you want me to show some things?
You show a couple of things while I'm just going to try and keep count now.
Right.
Going to keep tally as we go on. Oh, we're 3-2 to Coastal Walk.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Coastal Angel.
Coastal Angel.
You can't just keep. Oh, I quite like Coastal Angel.
Yeah, I quite like Coastal Angel. I quite like Coastal Angel, actually. Right. I like Coastal Angel.
3-3. Keep going.
Right. So yesterday I was having a proper meltdown and a proper knickers in a twist moment because I've been doing these beautiful squares and I've tried joining them numerous times, but because I'm such a tight sewer, tight knitter, every time I was doing it, it didn't look right. So yesterday I got it into my head that I was just going to pull it all out and I was going to start a new pattern. I had a word with myself and said, no, you really like them, stop it. Just get a grip and sort it out. So I have sorted myself out and I have joined them together with mattress stitch.
Very nice.
So I think it's because it's the bottom bit, but that's where I'll be joining on again. But I mean, look, right, this is the width.
And this is the width that the blanket's going to be.
This will be the width and there will be 12 rows. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I mean, it's bigger than your wingspan, which, as we know, is the size of the Great North Angel.
Angel of the North.
That's Angel of the North. So that is, I have put it all together, and that is it. I mean, it's big enough to make it a scarf.
How have you worked out your dimensions?
Because I get 10 out of it. I get 10 squares out of a. I get 10 squares out of a set of 5 mini sets.
You get 10 squares. You get 10 squares out of 5 minis, and that's 5 minis, is it?
That's 1 month.
And how many months is it?
12.
So it's going to be 12 by 10.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, it is. Well,
gonna
it's going to be a bedspread.
It's going to be.
Yes, it is going to be warm. It's going to be a bedspread.
So now that I've stopped getting my knickers in a twist, I can start working on them, because that's all the other things I haven't been doing it. I've not been doing them because I thought I need to sew these together, because if I don't sew them together as I go, it's not going to happen, is it?
No. So that's first month, all made, all together. And now you're starting second month to make the squares.
I am starting second month, and the second month I have started.
And where are the minis from?
The minis are from, hold on one moment, Sherry Iris. And it's the floral edit. That's month 3. And my month 4 is just about, it's being posted out now.
Right.
So month 3 is apple blossom and lilac. I mean, look at this. How organised is Mrs. Hammond? This is not me, is it? Look what I've done. February, month 2.
Very nice.
Aquilegia and fritillary.
Chrysanthemums?
No, fritillary.
Oh.
And month 1, and that's what I've got left of month 1.
Yes.
Are hellebores and snowdrops. So that row that I've done are hellebores and snowdrops. So I can now sit and do that, especially now I've got a bit more off my needles. Ha ha ha. I can start and sit and do them because they are really nice. It will be massive. Well, I think it's looking like Coastal Walks is winning.
Coastal Walks is winning 8-3 at the minute.
And I like Coastal Walks.
It's Coastal Walks then.
Let's call it Coastal Walks.
By a
Thank you
landslide.
very much.
Not quite, but I mean, it is quite coastal walky.
It is coastal walks. It's sand dunes. It's a bit of the beach.
Stop voting because I'm writing it on now.
Coastal walk or coastal walks?
Coastal
walk. It's one less letter to write.
Coastal walk. So,
and that will not be on the website. Let me just see that. How you spelled coastal?
Coastal.
Oh, that's all right. I thought you'd put 2 A's there, but it's an O. I see.
No, it's when you're writing on a. It's not you. You need to write your labels before you put them on your ball. Yeah, it will be. Whoever wins will get it 2 weeks ahead of anyone else, but it will be launched at Buxton.
Yes. Perfect. So, I like that. Really nice.
Yes.
So yes, Jane, they actually knit up really quickly. And they are very, I mean, yes, that is weird, isn't it? It's like that book, it's all
without us even knowing, subliminal.
And a little nod to my dad as well, because my dad liked his coast, like these walks along the coast he loved to see.
There you go. Perfect.
They do look, they're really easy to knit actually, Jane. I've really enjoyed doing them, so I can do one a day if I put my mind to it. Do you know what I mean?
And what's the pattern?
The pattern is Vivid by Tin Can Knits. And it can be done in any weight yarn, Dominique. You can do it in 4-ply. You can do it in double knit. You can do it in any wool you're flipping well like. I wouldn't go too big because I think you lose the delicateness of it.
Yes.
That's not a word, is it? Delicateness is not a word.
Delicacy? No, that's not a word. Well, it is a word, but not in the right way.
Do you know, it's really funny because you laugh at me. I've been learning Italian. I've been listening to it all day.
That's Spanish.
That's definitely Spanish. So I've been listening to it, and it's by Paul Noble, and I did the Spanish one with him. And it's really clever how he teaches you to learn. And he was like saying that certain words you just knock off the end bit, and you add this. You add like the little bit, yeah. And it works for every word that ends in a certain thing. So I've been listening to like vocabulary all day. So that's, yeah, I'm blaming that for why I said delicateness is not a word.
No.
But you know what I mean. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to starting that again. So what else have you got then?
Well, I have got, Kath, I don't know if you've seen this so far. Look how much I've done now. I mean,
that's beautiful.
Where that progress marker is, that's where I was last week.
The one at the bottom.
And that is my first ball of Storm. So I didn't sleep well at all. Well, I didn't really sleep last night. So I was determined to get this finished, which I did. So what I was thinking all week, I'm going to get to the end of this ball and then I can move on to something else. And
yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it at the minute. So I've measured it. I'm at 12 inches from cast on edge.
Yeah.
And I need to be at 16 before I start doing any shaping sleeves. So I think I'm going to just crack straight on with the next ball.
Well, if you're enjoying it, you may as well go with it, don't you? Because you'll get to a point where you'll go, I've had enough of this.
I need to do something else.
Yes.
It's just easy. This is all I've been doing, excuse me, at Knit and Natters, because I don't need to think.
Yeah.
So I can just go round and round and round. So that is the cracking the flags.
It's beautiful. It's really pretty. I love that.
By Wensleydale Longwool Sheep Shop, who will be at Wonderful Wales, who I'm sure will have this.
And they'll also be at Buxton.
They'll also be at Buxton. But yeah, it is easy. And like I've said before, the pattern is you knit a front and a back. I knit the colour work in 2 pieces, and I've just joined it to do the majority of the body. And then when I get to whatever the measurement is for the front to start the shaping, then I'll put one side on hold and keep knitting it. But yeah, so you're going to get bored of seeing this because I'm not going to cast anything else on at the minute. But while I'm enjoying, or happy just to keep going round and round and round, I'll move my progress keeper so I can see. But yeah, I mean that's a good 2 and a bit inches, maybe 3 inches in a week. So I'm happy with that. I'll keep going. But
Kath's just saying make it a bit longer. She's just messaged them, make it a bit longer because you're taller. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'll just keep going. But yes.
But it looks beautiful. You tried it on, didn't you? Whichever show was it?
I tried it on at Cumbria. I bought the kit at Cumbria, which was June last year, and it's taken me this long to get round to it. But I am really enjoying it. Really enjoying knitting with it. So I'll get another ball in and then see how I feel, and then I think I'll need to look. But I think another ball is going to take me about an inch past what the pattern says, and then I can reassess. Right. But there you go.
I've got to say, Kath, the new colourway that you've shown, is it Red Maya? Have I got the name right? It is absolutely stunning. I'm going to be very tempted when I see you to purchase some of that at Buxton. I'm thinking Christmas jumper. It is just a beautiful colour.
Wow.
I bet the pictures don't do it justice with the sheen on it. Do you know what I mean? It's such a nice red, really nice colour. So you're on with that. So the other thing I'm going to show again, this is the collaboration. So Dominique in her madness of starting the Cowl. I've tried it on. I'm doing size 2. And I've cast it on and I've tried it on and it fits really nicely. I'm really pleased with it. So I'm past the lace. Now, I know that some of you have had some issues with the pattern. I know some of you have had issues with the German short rows. So I'm just going to show, and Dominique's probably got hers to show you the difference. I don't put short rows in my jumpers when they've got such a big neckline because for me, it works. the only reason you put in short rows in is to give you, and Dominique will show you on hers, about that much height at the back of your jumper. Yes, it does show you which is the back and front. If you're that bothered, you can always tie a little bit, you know, sew a little bit of ribbon on at the back. So if you're really struggling with short rows, don't put them in. Life's too short. Do not put them in.
Just, I mean, it's very difficult to show you.
It's not much, is it? It's a tiny amount.
My short rows are between my 2 fingers-ish.
So for me, where it said, do knit your row, turn it round, blah. So instead of doing the short row, I just knit a whole round. So for however many rows it says to do short rows, I just added it in. And it's quite a nice neckline, but I do that with the Love Note because Love Note's got it in. There's a lot of patterns, do it. So if you can't do it, don't worry about it.
And like we were saying yesterday as well, there are, like everything in knitting, so many different ways to do German short rows, wrap and turn, the double stitch. So if you don't get on, the wrap and turn I cannot do. I leave holes all over the place. So I do the double stitch. So it might be that find a different technique if you want to do them. I always put short rows in mine. I've got short rows in this jumper. I always put them in because I like the back of my jumper slightly higher. I don't like it really low down my neck. So you're all different. But yeah, if you get stumped at the short rows, don't do them. Don't let that be a stumbling block.
No.
For you not getting on past that, you know, starting it and getting on with it. So
I'm rummaging.
I have got...
Jane's just asked a question. How do you stop the things falling off your needles? You want some needle stoppers. I mean, these aren't the prettiest ones I've got. I was literally rummaging in my bag. I've got loads of like look, needle stoppers. That's you shove your needle in. I mean, that's a sensible needle stopper. That's a little hat. You literally, Jane, you just shove them on the end of your needle and it stops them. Yeah. You can get them in all designs, but they're called needle stoppers. So if you I've got some this ones, I've got some Cowl ones.
I'm knitting in the round. I'm knitting in the round. You know, my needles are there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to pull really hard, but you do have to tug with some force to get them off. So
yes,
it stops you. It stops you everything falling off the end.
If you go on Etsy and just put needle stoppers in, you can have any design you want. There's does Hayley do them? If you go into a
wool I think
Hayley, Ducky Darlings.
Google needle stoppers. Yeah. Hobbycraft will have them. If you go to Hobbycraft, yes. I'm sure.
Yes, Hobbycraft.
But there you go, Jane. Oh, Vanessa, brilliant. Vanessa cast on last night. She's just finished the German short rows.
Good.
Yay. So I have done a little bit more on mine, but I've not had that much time or brain space. So I've just been doing my cracking the flags. But this is, I'm not at the end of my lace yet. Oh, that's quite a good colour.
That looks really nice. That's beautiful.
You can't necessarily see the lace particularly, but that is...
You could there. You could.
Could you? That's a good representation of Kingfisher.
You show yours and I'll show my lace there, and then you can probably
see. I am absolutely... I mean, if I come closer, you can... But I'm loving it. So I've still got some of the lace to go. And one of the things we were talking about is... I mean, lots of people don't care. Some people do, depending on what wool you're using. If it's commercial wool, don't worry, just knit. If it's hand-dyed, anybody's hand-dyed, there are going to be, no two skeins are going to be identical. I've done 2 Kingfishers for me at the same time, but they're going to be different. If you don't care, just crack on because it'll pull slightly differently.
That's me. I don't care.
If you don't want that, then just do a row of each. Do a row from one ball and then the next row from the other. And it just stops that. With the one I did in Jade, it's not really noticeable, but it is noticeable that I knit the whole jumper in 100 grams, and then I do 50 grams at the bottom, and it's slightly different, and you can see it. It doesn't bother me, but do that once you've got past the lace, because you'll not do it through the lace. So that we were just talking about things like that, weren't we?
And as well, we mentioned the German short rows. Look on YouTube, because there are so many different ways to do. It's not just one way. There's not just one way to do them. You can do them in so many different ways. So if sometimes you get in a hole and you have a look, there might be a different technique for you. Just don't get hung up about it.
Yes. Oh yeah, I mean, Jane's saying she doesn't want sensible cow sangre. Jane, I've got rainbows, penguins, hedgehogs. Whatever you.
I've got.
Jane, there'll be alpacas. You will be able to find alpaca needle stoppers without a doubt.
Just trying to find it. I thought. Oh look, Jane, I've got Mickey Mouse on some of them. Yeah. There's just millions of different types. I mean, I have loads of them. They must be on projects. Yeah, you can get anything on them. You can even get rude ones if that floats your boat.
You can get all sorts. And keep going back to the case. Just keep sharing, because seeing it in different colours, it looks amazing. Sally's just said she's just split for the sleeves using Mother Goose. Oh, and nice. That's bamboo as well. Someone else, is it Trish who's doing it? Someone else has posted in Mother Goose. Mother Goose was not my favourite pantomime box colourway.
It was lovely.
You really like it, and everyone voted for it, so it's become a colour. You'll see it in a few weeks. Yeah. Wendy's done us a sample crocheted shawl in Mother Goose that looks stunning, and when I've seen the Kaisa in Mother Goose, it looks stunning. It's changed my mind about Mother Goose. I really like it now.
It's weird though how it can look in a ball and then knit up. It looks completely different, doesn't it?
I did mine in a scarf, so I was backwards and forwards, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just so, Sally, I'm looking forward to seeing yours as well. But yeah, if you've got any other questions, just keep asking them. Just keep asking them in the Facebook Knit and Natter page, because we don't always. We're not the first to see them sometimes, but I noticed I came in from work one day and someone had asked questions and everybody else had answers, because lots of us are doing it at the minute. So no questions too stupid. Ask if you're stuck or you're not sure, ask, and somebody will be able to answer or point you in the direction of a resource.
And again, if you are new to knitting and new to lace knitting, the stitch markers are your friend. You don't have to, if you're more experienced and you don't have to put them in. But if you are unsure, stitch markers are definitely your friend. And probably the best ones when you're doing lace so things don't get tangled up are something simple. I mean, you can't see because of my, let me put it in the lid.
Just a circle.
A little low, I'm dropping it. Or, you don't want something.
You don't, and this is like my beginning of, this is my beginning of round.
Yeah, you don't want something dangly because it will get caught in your lace. You want something really, really simple.
I'm using one of my jelly babies.
Yeah.
But like that's my beginning of round. Yeah.
You want something really simple.
And I'm sure it says in the pattern, I don't use them. I do use them for some things, but because I've knit this before, I was confident not using them. Whatever and I worked it out for, it might have been for Vanessa, whatever the stitch count is, if it's 20 stitches, you put your stitch markers every 20 stitches. So you get to the end of each repeat and it's just a confirmation to go, I'm right, move on to the next one. And if you're wrong, you have only done 20 stitches or 22 or whatever it is, and then you go, oh, I've gone wrong. So you only have to unpick them 20 stitches. That's what it's there for.
And the only thing as well, when there's a yarn over that's next to a stitch marker, beware that it can slip into your next number. So if you're thinking I'm always losing a stitch, just check if you've done a yarn over before your stitch marker, and just look at your pattern. You can read the line above and it'll say my last stitch was a yarn over, and if you can't find it, it's usually because it's just shifted. So all you do is you just use that one. So sometimes it can be as simple as that you're not picking up. You're thinking you've lost a stitch, but it's because you've lost your yarn over. So there's and this comes with experience, doesn't it? It's all right us sitting here and going, oh, it's an easy pattern. If you've never knit in the round, that's a technique in itself to learn.
If you've never lit lace,
exactly.
I mean,
if you've
Anita's very much from our school. I had one stitch too many, so I knitted two together. Then on round two, found where it belonged and fudged it and had one in. And you can absolutely do that.
Yes.
You know, just...
Especially if you look, you've got yarn overs coming in all the time. Sometimes you can have forgotten to do a yarn over, and it's really easy because all you do is you just pick the bit up from the row below and you've got your yarn over. But that comes from experience and knitting and having the confidence to do it. And fudging a little bit for one stitch, either an increase or a decrease, is not going to make a huge amount of difference, even on a lace pattern. If
you're struggling, if you think, how am I picking up how do I pick a yarn over up from the row below? Google it. Someone will have done. There'll be videos on how to do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So, Julie's doing. She's now onto the body. She's doing it in vintage Christmas.
Yeah, it looks lovely, doesn't it?
I just keep seeing pictures of different ones and thinking, I really like that. That's in yak as well. This is a yak. I put this on because I was thinking, what is my, not necessarily most favourite, but one of my most favourite, but definitely most worn hand knits, and this is it, hands down. So I thought I would wear it in celebration, and it's yak. So I'm hoping this is going to be
a beautiful colour
as well.
Very nice.
But
yes, Sherry saying a lifeline is always useful. And a tip as well on your, I'll show you on here. So on your, if you've got needles.
Before you say that, what's a lifeline?
A lifeline is where you add a piece of yarn or cotton. Sometimes you can use embroidery cotton if you want to use something thinner. And it catches it. So your stitches sit on it. So basically, if you've made a mistake, you can pull it down and you know that your stitches are held.
So you would have your cable and a spare road. Go for a contrasting colour.
Yes.
You would have your cable and a length of yarn through all of your needles.
Now, if you look on your circular needles, the hole that you use it to tighten up with, usually, you know, when you put in your interchangeable needles on.
Yeah, I've not got any because mine are not interchangeable.
If you've got them, you can put your thread through there and knit with them, and it puts it on automatically. Or if not, you do have to get a needle, and you would just put your needle through each stitch to make sure that you can catch it.
Yes.
Again, look on YouTube. There's so many ways of doing it.
It can be fiddly putting in a lifeline, but that 10-15 minutes of fiddle can be a lifesaver. If you knit another 5 rows and then all of a sudden you've made a mistake, but it's lace so you can't quite fudge it, you can literally take your needles out, rip everything back, your yarn is in there, pick it up, and then, so with a lifeline, you decide, but you would just keep moving it. So you would knit, depending on how confident you are, knit 5 or 10 rounds and then think, that's all right, I'll put another one in so that you're only dropping back that far.
You can also put them in knitting. So say you'd knit, I mean, it's hard to show you. I'm just going to show you on this stocking stitch row.
Yeah.
So say you've realised, oh, I've gone wrong halfway down your jumper and you want to pull it back. What you can do is you can go with a needle and on each of your V's, so I would pick up like the right one, and you just go along the line. And it is a bit laborious, but it can help. And even if it's not, sometimes you get on the wrong row, but it doesn't matter, because if you put your thread in and then you rip it down, you've still got all your stitches on.
Yes.
But again, look on YouTube. It is, if you try it on a bit of
something you're knitting on that you're not too
Yes.
precious about. But there's so many different ways. But I like that dental floss. That's a good.
I was
idea,
just
'cause
about to say that was a brilliant. I've not thought
And-
about that, Sarah, because dental floss
Yeah.
you can thread through your hole quite easily as well, can't you?
And because it's slightly waxed, the stitches move on it better as well.
Yeah.
So lots of ideas there. Lots of
But
ideas.
when I knit the 12 Days of Christmas a long time ago, and I really wasn't a particularly experienced knitter, there's one section, day 5, and I can't remember if that is your knit 3. I can't remember what it was. I just kept getting it wrong. And it's quite a big block of knitting. So I would do an inch and then it would go wrong and I couldn't work it. So then I'd rip it all out. And that was when I was first introduced to lifelines. So I would say it was like a 4-row repeat. I would just move every 4 rows. So that's when I was first introduced to them. I only really ever use them now if it's all over lace, probably.
Right.
I can't remember the last time I used them, but I do use them because it just saves you a lot of frustration.
Caroline's just said that she's having problems with my holding cables. Do you mean these, Caroline? Or where you're putting your stitches on? What are you having the problem with? Putting them on? Are you I presume you know to attach them. I'm sure you do know this. But for those who don't,
so
to get them on, you just get your piece of cabling and you attach it to your needle and give it a good old push down, and then pull them through.
Why not use them as a lifeline? We've just spent all that time. You could just do that as a lifeline.
You can use that as a lifeline. Sorry, I've just got a message.
Yeah.
What's the problem you're having with them, Caroline? Getting your stitches on, or?
Caroline's just said yes, but I can't remember what the question you just asked her. I think you said about getting the stitches on. Yeah.
I said, are you talking about these holding cables? So right, it's these. Yeah. So what's the problem? Is it getting them on, or? Because I do find that I just make them longer, and I'm terrible because I just cut them. I just buy them in long lengths and then I just cut them to whatever size I want. Right. I think it's because the needles are so large. But Caroline, they do fit on. I mean, that's a size 5mm needle and that's a tiny thing. You've just got to be a bit, you've got to be a bit vicious with it. So look, you can get them pushed on quite a way.
Because these are
you do have to be careful, but they do go through.
That's a 4mm on my blanket.
And that, you see, they're 5mm needles. But then when you pull it off, obviously it does. You just chop the end off. I'm not precious about them. I just chop mine up.
I've never had to chop ends off. So I literally push it on. And then
you do have to. I know what you might mean. Do they come off? Because you do have to be careful sometimes.
And then I am
guided.
Gentle.
Yes.
But not mega gentle.
No. There you go.
Just like that.
Just be more forceful, Caroline, in wedging it on the end.
You're not, well, certainly the ones I've got, I've never ever split them. I mean, they are on 4mm needles, but these are 5mm needles.
That probably is the problem. Caroline's on cubics. I bet they're not going on as smoothly on the end.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe you need to be more forceful, Caroline.
Just force them on, because I can get them on the end of my 5s. Or if it is your cubics, needle? Caroline, just knit around onto some not cubics and then put them on.
Or if it's an interchangeable needle, just unscrew your interchangeable needle to a round. Yeah. Please take that out of your mouth. I thought you were going to choke on it.
Me?
Yes.
No.
That was the mother. That was the mother in me there. Don't do that.
So that's how easy it is. And then when you go, oh, well, I've finished doing whatever I need to do, you put them back on there, and then you pull your cable. Oh, hang on. You pull your cable, and then you just slide them back across. But I've just twisted it, and then you're away again. Again, it's like the first time you do something that's completely new, you've got to find your way, the way that. Now I see they're just, I mean, they are going back on, but they're fiddlier going back on than they were coming off. But
yeah,
slide them all back on, unplug, and then you've got your stitches back on your needles. Maybe Caroline
to this.
Caroline's saying they go on the needles, but don't slide onto the cable anything as easily as mine did. Maybe it's that then.
Is it a thin cable?
I just wonder if that, because mine feel like shiny, like there's no resistance.
Yeah, mine is shiny.
Not shiny, but I can't even tell you what they are. I don't know. They feel like they glide through my fingers when there's a bit of pressure on them.
Well, that's probably because you've been eating them.
Well, so I just wonder, Caroline, if it's actually your cables themselves. Oh, she's tried 2 different cables, blue and green. Well,
I don't think Dominique's talking about that, because you can get different textures from like some of them are like the shiny ones and some of them are dull, and I've got some dull ones and they don't move as good, so I've ditched them. I think they were a bit cheaper, the ones I bought. It's like, for example, these are really big thick tubes and they're not as slippery, do you know what I mean, because they're more rubbery, where they're more like shiny thin elasticated.
Has anybody else had any issues putting, I mean, I call it try it on tubing, but that's because I keep hearing people say try it on tubing, but whatever you call these, has anyone else had any issues and how have you overcome them?
Because you can get them in different diameters, can't you? Some of them are thicker and some of them are thinner, but I just tend to buy one size, and I buy them in meters.
Yeah, Caroline they were from Hayley. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same, Sherry. The matte ones that I've got aren't as good as the shiny ones. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing Caroline's trying to put them on these to try it on, isn't she? I can't think of it.
Or else you see, I use that because I use interchangeable needles. You can just get the screwy bit, take your needle off, get the screwy bit that joins another cable on.
That's the other, but you don't even have to do that. Just use 2 long cables.
It's easier though, because then I'll just take one end off and just whiz it through, and then I don't have to be messing about. So I'll go for the old yarn. Just use yarn.
Yeah, Caroline, give it another go. But if it's really to try it on, I always just get my 2 longest cables, put interchangeable needles, and I put half my stitches on one cable and half on the other. So you've got plenty of room to try it on, and then you can just put your stoppers on the end of the cables to stop the needles, stop the stitches coming off. But the next time you come to an afternoon tea, or we've got an afternoon tea before anything else. Bring your cables.
No, we've got Buxton.
But we might not have. It depends how busy we are. I was just thinking, like, it's an afternoon tea. I'll bring mine, Caroline, and we can see if it's the cables. I'll show you what I do. I don't know. I mean, that's a conundrum.
It's a good word. Must be that beer.
Well, this was my bit of celebrating. Marie did all her celebrating, and I went to the co-op and bought a Lincoln Red.
Oh, Lincoln Red. It's a nice
moo cow.
Nice
that
moo
was
cow.
my bit of celebration.
Well, I think we've covered everything we needed to.
So
Just
don't
remember,
forget, when this goes up, comment
yes,
down below your funniest moment, or what have you, how have we inspired you, knit or crochet wise?
yes,
Allah shaking the tree.
yes. And the blanket box, the blanket club will be going on this weekend for month 5. And this weekend we will be taking off month 2
Yeah.
of the vegetables, purple sprouting broccoli and beetroot. So that will be taken off. So if you do want to join in with that, you will only be able to buy it in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, because I'm dyeing them on Sunday. So we need to have taken it off so I know what I'm dyeing.
And I'm liking, and this is something that we hear all the time from people who do watch the podcast. Caroline says she's nodding along, thinking that we can see her. Yes, we know, and we know that people do respond to us, thinking that we can hear. We can't, but it's lovely that you think we think you can. And I think it's because you just get so used to hearing people that you think you're having a conversation with everybody. So that has made me smile, Caroline, that you sat there nodding along. Well done.
Because we have said, I've just realised I've not put something. Oh, I have there. We have said this. Since we've gone live, it does feel like it is sat in your front room as part of a knit and natter, and you're just not talking. Well, you might be talking, but we can't hear you. But you're typing. You know, we are still having that conversation. So,
yes.
Anita shaking the tree is the Cowl Marie's doing. That Victoria showed us on a knit and natter, that Caroline's now doing, that Elizabeth's doing. It's just one of them things, you know. Have you seen something one of us has done and therefore gone and crocheted it yourself?
Thank you for naming the new wool.
Yes. Coastal, what I like that.
I
really
like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us. And if you've been here for every episode, you deserve a medal the size of a frying pan.
I can't
done.
I can't believe anybody's been here for every episode.
Has anybody been here from the beginning who's on now? That would be
not necessarily watch them live, but do you think you've watched every episode? Maybe there are
I'd
people.
be intrigued to know who's been there from the beginning.
Yes.
Who's there from the beginning? Just quickly.
Basically, any comment you put down there, you're going to go into a prize draw. We just want you to engage with us and know that we're not talking to ourselves.
Exactly. Not that we would care, because, you know, as we've often said, sometimes I forget that there's other people there.
But, yeah. Anyway, for all of you going to Wonderwool Wales this weekend, have a fab time.
Yes.
Or if you're there working, Kath and Marion, have a good show. I was going to say don't work too hard, but, you know, enjoy it. And we will see you all same time next week for the grand draw.
On our 201st episode.
And we're into May.
I wonder where we'll be on the 300th episode. I mean, how many episodes do you think we'll get to?
Sorry, we were just about to go, but Iris, who is Knitterish Designs, posted a memory overnight, and it was the very first Facebook post we did for the first in-person knit and natter we ran. So we just did it was shared on the tea room. We were going to come along. We had no idea who was going to come along. 2 people came to that first one, and one of them was Iris. And she was like, look at that, 7 years on.
I know.
Afternoon teas, retreats, shows, patterns,
all sorts of everything.
Things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was
and
interesting.
Sherry's been there from the beginning. Well done, Sherry. You've survived.
Yeah, maybe I can do people a disservice. Maybe people have been there. So, right, we will leave you to your weekend. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Keep sharing your pictures of your Kaisa Tees. Shout up if you've got any questions. Somebody in the community will have an answer or point you in the direction, I would think.
We do try and answer them, but sometimes we both miss them. So
yes,
don't be offended if we haven't seen it.
Or people get there ahead of us. So
yeah.
But
thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us, and
see you
keep
next
coming
week.
back. Don't forget to subscribe on the channel.